you, Madam Chair, and thank all of you for being here today. Really very interested. I'm from the state of West Virginia, and I know my two chair and ranking member have huge outdoor recreation. Well, we have quite an outdoor recreation industry in our state as well. And interestingly, it has just flourished under the pandemic because of the proximity to the more populated parts of the eastern seaboard, and easy to get there in a quick drive and spend the day if you didn't want to spend the night, which many of us were thinking about at certain times last year. I would note that our governor, in an effort to get the remaining West Virginians that have not taken up the vaccination, is offering free fishing licenses as an incentive. And I don't know if any of you all know of other states that are doing that. Does anybody know offhand? I don't think we're alone there, but I know that it's a popular thing in our state. Is it? You're doing it in Florida? No, I think it's a good idea. In any event, of course, he's got some trucks going and some other $1 million lottery and a whole bunch of other things, but he does have the free fishing license. So a shout out to Governor Justice. I think one thing that, as we're looking at the future of the outdoor industry, certainly we have a new national park in West Virginia. We want to make sure that we have capacities there for parking and for stay overnight restaurants and all of that. And so that's new for us. But as I think about how this pandemic has really hit us, and more families traveling together, maybe for short-term trips, I think it's inspiring that next generation to outdoor recreation. And I'm curious to know of our panelists, and I'd be happy to hear from all of you, what focus you're placing on that next generation, whether it's a sport fisher, man or woman, or to inspire them to go outside and enjoy as we have over the pandemic. Is this something that you all thought about? What kind of programs are you aiming to that next generation? We'll just start at the end there. Mr. Robertson.
Colin Robertson, for the record. Thank you so much for that question, Senator Capito. The wonderful thing about, I hesitate to say anything was a silver lining in the midst of the pandemic, but one of the positive outcomes of that experience has been the just overwhelming increase in participation by lots of new participants in outdoor recreational activities. I am very proud of a number of different kinds of organizations in Nevada, one of which I'll mention is an organization called Get Outdoors Nevada, which provides opportunities for underprivileged youth in particular to experience outdoor activities in ways that they might not otherwise have been able to. And particularly because of the impact of the pandemic on the tourism and hospitality industry in Nevada, a lot of children and young people were disproportionately affected by that terrible economic consequence of the pandemic. So Get Outdoors Nevada, among a slew of many other nonprofit education organizations in the state, have really tried to increase access and opportunity for kids and youth. And I think my office and my counterparts in the 13 other states that are part of the confluence of states are working very diligently to increase access and equitable access to outdoor recreational activities. I think I'll leave it at that so that we have plenty of time.
Anybody else have anything to add there?
I do, Senator, thank you.
Mr. Hughes?
So for more than 20 years, the Recreational Boating and Fishing Foundations existed to increase participation in fishing and boating. And that money that they have is established through our Sport Fish Restoration Boating Trust Fund, which is based on excise taxes and motorboat fuel taxes. So we're investing in the future of anglers. They get 2% of the fund. At the same time, we understand that it's really a four-legged stool. It's the RBFF, it's states, it's federal agencies, and it's also industry. And so the industry, we're spending a lot of time with the RBFF on this to communicate about how we make sure that folks have a good experience. So I mentioned earlier that fishing has increased from 50 to 55 million participants just in this past year alone, which is tremendous. But now they need to have a good experience out there. They need access, they need clean water, they need abundant fisheries. And so that's where a lot of time and money is spent. But that good experience is also going to be dependent upon all of us, Fish and Wildlife agencies and the state agencies need to be able to communicate with these anglers and make sure they have the information that they need to have a positive day on the water. And same thing for the industry, whether it's manufacturers or retailers. Retailers have a responsibility to make sure when someone buys a fishing rod, reel, line, and lure, that they know how to use it and that they know where to go and they know what they're fishing for. So this is a communication issue that we want to work through the entire community with. Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Hartman, did you want to add anything? Or Mr.
Sure,
Henry?
thanks, Senator Capito. I'd just like to say, Ducks Unlimited is a membership organization that's led by our volunteers, so this is a critically important issue for us. We've had programs in place for many years and are building on those and expanding our Green Wing program for younger children. We have our varsity program, which is our high school students, which has a trap and skeet team aspect, which is rapidly growing, and then our university chapters, which are some of the fastest growing chapters, and most importantly and pleasing to us, really diversifying the demographics of our membership. They're approaching nearly 50% women, and we're really excited about that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator. And
I was going to say, yes, Mr. Henry, please go ahead and answer Senator Capito's question.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, to answer your question, we are looking forward at these different demographics that are interested in this. And, that is one of the silver linings of the pandemic, is that more and more people, different groups that we haven't seen before, have gotten into outdoor recreation. Very exciting. And, the Minnesota DNR, the National Professional Angling Association, tourism destinations like myself, you'd be crazy not to look at that and say, gosh, not only create a welcoming environment for these people, but also make sure that you're including all different types of people in your marketing and your promotions and your messaging, because that's part of making them feel welcome, and also addressing the security part of things. Do people feel safe coming to your destination? When they look at your materials, do they see people like themselves and they would feel comfortable bringing their families there? So yes, it's very important, and we certainly see a silver lining coming to the future.
Thank you. Thank you.